I was recently released from prison, I stood there waiting on that train, but it never came. I ended up checking myself into drug treatment. One thing led to another. I was able to eventually get accepted into law school. In the May of 2014, I graduated with a law degree. We can talk about, wanting a better place, but until we actually put in that work to better our society, then it won't be what we want it to be.
You just heard Desmond Meade. After transforming his own life, the Orlando activist helped usher in the largest expansion of voting rights in the United States in more than 50 years. And he has just won the most prestigious MacArthur Fellowship Genius Grant. Desmond Meade joins us now to talk about this incredible award. Desmond, congratulations. How does it feel to be a certified genius?
Listen, I am totally blown away. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm still processing this. Because this is huge. I mean, I think the next step is like a Nobel Peace Prize. This is in many accounts the biggest individual award that an American citizen can receive, and so I'm honored. But I'm also excited as well.
Good. And I want to, before we get to what you're going to do with the award, let's talk about how you got here and the work that you did. It's a big deal in an environment like Florida where it's hyper partisan, lots of gerrymandering to get people the right to vote. So, what was your approach? And I ask this as a lesson to everybody else, given that we're failing at the federal level.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, right? Because it ties right back in to one of the things I'm most excited about in receiving this award was that I was also accompanied by another individual who got the award who was also formerly incarcerated. And so this is the first time that the MacArthur Genius Award has been given to two, much less one individual who at some point had experienced incarceration, and having this award really elevates our issue. It actually elevates the humanity in people who have had previous felony convictions, and that was basically the same thing approach that we had even in Florida. It was about how do we humanize people with felony convictions and not have them seem like some other part of the population that we've typically marginalized, but bring them in to the much larger group and have people really rally around them. And we were able to accomplish that with Amendment 4. We elevated people over politics. We elevated people even over implicit racial biases, right? And connected with each other along the lines of humanity. And so once again, this award allows us that platform to show the world that people with previous felony convictions, or like me, people who were homeless or people who were addicted to drugs, right? That you just can't just throw us out with the bathwater. You just can't automatically foreclose on us. We have the potential
Mm-hmm.
of being like immense assets to our community, to our society. And the MacArthur Genius Grant highlights that by awarding people like me and, of course, Reginald Dwayne
Mm-hmm.
Betts the Genius Award.
Desmond, but you did something in addition to centering the humanity of formerly incarcerated individuals. You also reminded people about how fundamental it is to have the right to vote. How did you get that out into a place where people were willing to actually act on it?
Well, a lot of it was really how were we able to connect with people on a very personal level. When you talk to people about voting, when you talk to people about even the criminal justice system and whether or not people with felony convictions should be allowed to vote, a lot of times those conversations are in abstract form, right? The people do not have something up close and personal to relate to. And so it is maybe the white person thinking about the black person, or the Democrat thinking about the Republican thinking about a potential Democrat, and nobody's thinking about a human being because it's not intimately connected to them. But we were able to have conversations with people from all walks of life and to connect them to a family member or a very close friend who have been impacted by this justice system. And in doing so, we were able to have much deeper conversations about second chances. We were able to have deeper conversations about democracy, right? And the role that each and every one of us can play in a democracy, knowing that the more people that are engaged, the more vibrant that democracy is, and that's good for everyone. And people bought that, right? They believed that, they believed in second chances. Everybody wanted to be forgiven. And then there's a sense of patriotism within everyone, whether they're Democrat or Republican, white or black, around this country, that when you start talking about the deeper meanings of what democracy is all about, right? And then being able to have a voice, folks resoundingly said that, yes, even people who've made mistakes should have a voice in this democracy.
Desmond, please stay right there because we're going to take a quick break and we'll dive into your life story when we get back.
You're watching The World Tonight, and we're back with Desmond Meade, winner of the prestigious MacArthur Fellowship, also known as the Genius Grant. Desmond, we talked about the tremendous work you've done on voting rights. Now let's talk about you and where you were in life and how you turned things around to become the inspirational and motivational character and figure that you've become.
Thank you for the question. Let me tell you, I tell folks that I was an individual who, back in August of 2005, was standing in front of railroad tracks, waiting on a train to come so I can jump in front of it. I was homeless. I was addicted to drugs, recently released from prison. I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But fortunately, that train didn't come that day. And I crossed those tracks and I checked myself into drug treatment. After completing that, I moved into a homeless shelter. And while there, I decided to enroll in one of the local colleges. And I did extremely well to eventually have the opportunity to enroll in law school. And in May of 2014, I graduated with a law degree. Unfortunately, in spite of me being able to overcome those obstacles in life, even now today, I still can't practice law because of the policies here in Florida. And I'm really limited in the type of housing that I can get for my family, to provide housing for my family. And there's a ton of other collateral consequences that I face, but we still push on. And I think even getting this award is should be a source of inspiration to people across the country who may seem like they have insurmountable odds in front of them, so they'll know that, listen, if that guy can do it, so can I. And I can also have an impact in my community, in my country, or even the world.
Desmond, I think just in that message alone, you have shown all of us in your life how you can overcome anything and turn pain into power and purpose and overcome your trials with triumph. There's a saying that we used to have in the black church called, "We've come this far by faith." Did that help sustain you along the way?
Oh, you bringing it back. Let me tell you, that, and one of the main ones though is I don't feel no ways tired, right? I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but I don't believe that God has brought me this far just to leave me. And I'm gonna tell you, man, there's so many nights where, I wonder, if I'm headed in the wrong direction, or there have been so many painful, sorrowful nights and times in my life, from the time I was living on the street like an animal, to the different challenges that I've faced, and even during the campaign when it seemed like all odds were against me. But I had to hold on to that faith. And it's that faith that I encourage everybody to hold on to, because God would, I believe that God just takes the least among a group of people to bring about the biggest change. You talk about me with leading the effort to reenfranchise 1.4 million. But when you look at the last 4 years, the biggest victories around expanding voting rights have all been led by people who've been formerly incarcerated, whether it's in Louisiana or North Carolina or even California, where last year they passed an initiative to extend voting rights to people even while they're on parole or probation. speaks just volumes of just how, the least of us can be used to be an enormous asset to our community and help make this country a much better place for all.
Desmond, we are so excited to see what you do with this fellowship and the award that comes with it. Please make sure to keep us updated, folks. We've been talking with certified genius Desmond Meade.